Not all American romantics were optimistic or had faith in the innate goodness of humankind. Three giants from this time period, Edgar Allan Poe, Nathaniel Hawthorne, and Herman Melville, are what have been called dark romantics or even anti-transcendentalists. Theirs is a complex philosophy filled with dark currents and a deep awareness of the human capacity for evil. While Irving had been satisfied if his work kept mankind in good humor with one another, Hawthorne, Melville, and Poe were haunted by a darker vision of human existence. Their stories are characterized by a probing of the inner life of their characters and an examination of the complex and often mysterious forces that motivate human behavior. They are romantic, however, in their emphasis on emotion, nature, and the individual. Some characteristics of dark romantics or Gothic writers are that they did not believe in the innate goodness of people. They explored the capacity for evil, generally through very dark actions of their characters. And they explored character motivation. Often Poe explored the motivation of a crazy person to do something, and he really got into the psyche of crazy people. And they agreed with romantics in that there was an emphasis in their work on emotion, nature, and the individual. Poe and Hawthorne, and to a lesser extent Melville, used Gothic elements such as grotesque characters, bizarre situations, and violent events in their fictions. Most Gothic or dark romantic writing includes some sort of fantastic, demonic, and even insane aspects. The Gothic tradition had begun in Europe, perhaps inspired by the Gothic architecture of the Middle Ages. European writers of the 19th century, such as Mary Shelley, author of Frankenstein, delighted readers with their deliciously creepy accounts of monsters, vampires, and humans with a large capacity for evil. The Romantic movement itself gave rise to the Gothic literature. Once the Romantics freed the imagination from restrictions of reason, they could follow it wherever it might go. For the Dark Romantics, the imagination led to the threshold of the unknown, that shadowy region where the fantastic, the demonic, and the insane reside. Edgar Allan Poe, of course, was the master of the Gothic form in the United States. He explored the human psychology from the inside, using first-person narrators who were sometimes criminal or even insane. His plots involved extreme situations, not just murder, but live burials, physical and mental torture, and retribution from beyond the grave. Perhaps the dark vision of Hawthorne, Melville, and Poe foreshadowed the tumult and tragedy that was soon to erupt in Civil War in America. There's no question that these three writers profoundly affected the development of the American literary voice throughout the remainder of the 19th century.